scanning colorimetry, we can check the purity of your drug. Now the particle size. See friends, before we have seen the various tools or the analytical technologies which are or which can be utilized for the study of your pure drug. Now actual study will be started. Now first parameter we will see regarding the particle size of your drug. See, particle size is the most important parameter of your drug when especially we are dealing with the solid dosage forms, and most of drugs or most of dosage form are preferred are the solid dosage form, and most of drugs are present in the solid state. So for the preparation of tablets or the preparation of capsule or the preparation of your powders, so particle size is very much important, and all of you know that your particle size can influence variety of important factors of dosage forms. Suppose particle size is larger, then dissolution rate may be larger, it may require the more time for dissolution purpose. There might be chances that suspendability may occur, ununiform distribution may be occur, then it may affect the penetrability when we are preparing the suspension for the injectable purpose, as well as there might be a lack of grittiness, and most important lastly is the flow property. So your particle size is affect on the flow property, and that flow property may cause the various problems in the solid dosage form like capsule and your tablet. So as early we have seen that this is the nothing but one part of your bulk properties. So particle size may affect on the dissolution rate, suspendability of drug in the suspension, uniform distribution in case of tablets, penetrability in case of injectable suspension, and lack of grittiness in case of your surface powders or the topical powders, and flow property for the all types of dosage, you can say powder dosage forms. Now particle size. Generally particle size is determined by the different methods. So basically, or in lab we are using the sieve analysis, microscopy. Okay. So when we are using the sieve analysis or microscopy, generally we are categorizing your particles in the different size range. So very coarse, coarse, moderately coarse, fine, very fine. These all are the parameters to decide the size of your particle, or these all are the categories under which we can categorize your particle size. Suppose you have taken any new drug and you have checked its particle size, then you can put into the any one category depending on its particle size. Now these are the different methods. These all methods we have studied already, and you have the idea about the sieving, microscopy, sedimentation rate, all those things in your physical pharmaceutics. So sieving is nothing but we are using the different sieves with the different mesh size, and we can categorize your drug into the different criteria as we have studied before. Then microscopy, it is a little bit advanced technology for studying the size of your drug. Then sedimentation rate method. So depending on the density, your drug may get sediment. So by using this phenomena, we can categorize or we can determine the particle size of your drug. Then some modern technologies we are nowadays using, that is the light energy diffraction, laser holography, cascade impaction. So these all three are the different or the modern type of technologies we are using for the very minor particle size of your particles. See, in the light scattering, it involves the HE and NE laser ultrasonic probe. Generally silicon diode is utilized. So this is the mechanism of this technology. Generally this light scattering technology can measure the 0.02 to 2000 micron particle size. Another technology is the light energy diffraction. Depending on the how much energy is we can say emitted and absorbed by your particles when it is coming under the light waves. So we are using here air stream, okay, for the separation of particles, and by this way we can find out the particle size. So in the light energy diffraction tool, we can measure the 0.01 micron to 3500 microns particle size range. So this is the very vast range or very minute also. Laser holography, so it involves the sensor of light. It can measure the 0.2 micron to 500 micron size particles. Cascade impaction, this technology uses the holographic camera and it can measure the 1.4 to 100 micron size particles. Now the powder flow properties. As already I have told you that flow property is very most important one, especially in case of powder as well as in case of tablet and capsule, because while filling we may have some problems. So your powder must have the good flow property. So powder flow property can be affected by the different or the various types of parameters like particle size itself, then shape of that particle, density of that particle, and presence of moisture also. The flow properties depend on the following factors. Sometimes your flow property may be affected or enhanced by the force of friction. So in the intermolecular reaction, so sometimes there might be chances that it may have the force of friction, then cohesion between the one particle to the another particle. So it means nothing but when we are grinding your powder, it is generating the one charge on its surface. So that charge is nothing but some forces. So that forces sometimes may attractive or repulsive. So depending on that forces, your powder flow property may be affected. So fine particle possess the poor flow property. By using the glidant, we can improve the flow property of your powder. For example, we can use the starch, we can use the magnesium stearate, we can use the talc also to enhance the flow property of your powder. Now the determination of the flow property, as all of you know that in your laboratory also we are using the angle of repose for the determination of the flow property. Now when we are determining the flow property, generally your angle of repose may lies less than 25 or between the 25 to 30 degree or 30 to 40 degree or greater than 40 degree. When your angle of repose lies below 25, then we can say it is having the very excellent or the very nice flow. Then those powders having the 25 to 30 angle of repose, then we can say it is the good flow property. So likewise we can have the different angle of repose and the range, and by this way we can decide the flow property of your actual drug powder. Then this property may be utilized for the or while manufacturing of tablet as well as capsule. See the relation of your flow property with the tablet and capsule. When we have the idea that your drug is having the excellent good flow property, then no need to add any type of glidant, or there is no any arrangement required for improving the flow property of your powder. Suppose it is not having the good flow property, then we have to add the glidant. So by this way we can take the action if we have the idea about the basic properties of your drug. Now determination of the flow property by using the Carr's index. Suppose we have idea about the tap density, bulk density of your pure drug material, then by using that we can also determine the flow property of your drug by using the Carr's index. So for that purpose we need to know the bulk properties of your drug material like bulk density as well as tap density. Then by using the formula we can find out the Carr's index of that drug. So it is the you can say another parameter to determine the flow property. Okay, depending on the Carr's index, your drug may have the property. Suppose we are having the CARS index in between 5 to 15 or 12 to 16, then your drug is having the good or the excellent flow property. This is the relation of your CARS index with the angle of repose also or the flow property also. Now the particle shape. See friends, particle shape is also important as like as particle size, because they are having the near about same impact on the most of physicochemical properties of your drug particle. As like as particle size affect, in the same way particle shape is also affect. Generally your particle shape will influence the flow property of your drug. While packaging also it will give the problems. If your particle shape is the spherical one, it may have the good flow property and it is, we can say, handleable, good one, as well as very simply handleable. Then particle size and surface area or the particle shape is inversely related to the each other. Smaller the particle or the smaller the size, then greater the surface area. Generally the specific surface area is defined as the surface area per unit weight or the unit volume of the material. See, these are the different shapes of the particle generally we have getting while grinding or when we are preparing the powder. So spherical smooth, spherical rough, spherical irregular, elongated, angular, acular. So these are the different shape we can find out in your powder. So those drugs which are having the spherical one shape, then that type of drugs are having the very good property and they may not be disturbing. But instead of that, suppose any drug is having the acicular property or dendritic property, angular property, so this kind of shapes are required the, we can say, again grinding, as well as required the, we can say,